we'll get in more a systematic kind of an approach to free will, but this is really what free will is. So when we think back and look at this, there's a debate between the free will of man and the sovereignty of God. And you've got some that lean really, really heavily on the sovereignty of God and says, we don't really have a free will. It's all the sovereignty of God. And then you've got those folks that talk about free will, and a lot of times they downplay the sovereignty of God, and they say, you know, God's just kind of off in the distance and just letting us do whatever we want. The truth a lot of times is in the middle. And the way that I like to describe it is that God sovereignly chose that man would have a free will and he would not violate it ever.
Mm.
That is why the world is in the shape that it's in, because God has sovereignly chose that he will not violate man's free will, because that is the only way he can be just and justifier. So yes, God gives people over to what they want. Absolutely does. Head over. I'll just read Psalm 81 real quick because it's one of my favorites, and I taught on this last night, where God delivered his people out of Egypt, and then they went and they served other gods. And it says in verse 11 of Psalm 81, it says, "But my people did not listen to my voice, and Israel did not obey me. So I gave them over to the stubbornness of their heart to walk in their own devices. Oh, that my people would listen to me and that Israel would walk in my ways."
Mm.
If God is completely and utterly sovereign over the choices of man and can make people do what he wants them to do, why verses like this? Why did he state, okay, you want to go after the wicked stuff? I'm going to pull back. You're going to do what you want. You know what I really want from you, though? I really want you to walk in my ways. That
Yeah.
is a complete farce if God is the one that's in control of changing people's hearts. He's like, "Oh, I'd really want you to walk in my ways, and I'm the one that makes you do it." All the hand wringing is fake. All the agony is contrived. God will absolutely give people over to what it is that they want. In fact, and that's where the hardening of the heart comes from. God will actually strengthen a person's will, which he did with Pharaoh. Pharaoh wasn't begging, "Oh God, can you please let me repent so that I can become a believer and I'll leave with the Hebrews and follow them, follow you." He wasn't doing that. He was still very hard-hearted, very rebellious towards God, still believed he was a God, and God gave him over to that. He's like, "Okay, you want to do this? I'm going to strengthen your will so that I can prove my glory." He's
Mm.
sovereign like that.